Screens.
Go. Yeah. Direct it, make it, make it, make it. Go. Yeah.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to Connected. This is episode 7. Today, I'm happy to say I'm actually hanging at the Recording Connection headquarters. And as you can see, I've moved up in the road. I got a sign now. And I'm actually happy to be here with my squad that actually helps me bring this show to you guys every week. For those of you that are just tuning in, this is a show we do titled Connected, featuring your host, DJ Is, every Monday at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. You can follow and track our day-to-day on our social media, which is Connected. That is our social media handles. Also, too, you look down on your right, you'll see the Facebook and Twitter links, or, share us with your friends. Share this with folks that you know who would either love to do what you're doing or get into some other things like film, audio engineering, recording, all those things that we bring to you. So for those of you that might be just tuning in with us for your first time today, this is a show that is pretty much a show that allows you to be connected to anything from recording, engineering, doing live sound. This is a show where we like to bring you opportunities that no one else has access to. Okay, so these are job opportunities, but we call them grind ops, because anybody knows if you're in the railroad, you got to grind, right? So I like to call them grind ops. Now, with these grind ops, they range from anything, like I said, from live sound, the mixing, the engineering, and recording. We're going to add a couple of different categories real soon, and we'll be bringing you a lot more guests in the future to kind of share their experiences. So you definitely want to make sure you're connected here with us every Monday. Like I said, I get a lot of folks, a lot of friends who hit me up about the grind ops. And the great thing is the only way to actually apply for these grind ops is through this show, Connected. Later on in the show, you'll see a link. So you got to stick through the show with me, all right? Because at the end, you'll see a link that allows you to apply for these jobs. All right, so we're going to kick things off. Of course, most exciting piece of this show is these grind op opportunities, right? Because everybody's looking to get a gig, everybody's looking to get hired. One of the things I want to stress in this show is the follow-up, and which I like to put under the category of etiquette, right? Because etiquette of opportunities is the follow-up, following up with the people you meet, seeing if there's anything you could have done better. You know what I mean? It's all about your follow-up, and it's all about your execution. So that's one of the things I wanted to bring up in this show to stress to you guys. So without any further ado, let's get to these grind ops. But first, make sure you got your pen, your pad, so you can jot down these notes and take all this information down, because information is crucial. You want to make sure you have as much information as you can, so that when you get to these grind ops, you're just fully prepared, right? Preparation is everything in this game. Even for me, when I'm out traveling, when I'm on the road, when I'm preparing for a gig, I have to mentally prepare so that my execution is on point. All right, so make sure you guys are on point. Take down these notes so you can, see what's out there. All right, here we go. We're going to start off with grind op number 1. This is in the field of recording, and this is as a runner. Okay, it's a full-time position at the record plant. Great entry-level opportunity. The record plant is, that's a well-known studio here in LA. All right, running at the record plant is probably the best environment you can possibly be in if you're an engineer or aspiring engineer, because a lot of the cats that I've worked with who are engineers, they start from being a runner. It's a great way to understand an environment and get an early insight on what these environments look like. And running consists of running errands for folks, getting food, getting coffee, just making sure everybody has what they need in the studio so that things can function properly and smoothly. So that's a great opportunity. Like I said, a lot of the cats that I've worked with who are engineers started as being a runner, and not necessarily running at a great studio like the record plant. The record plant is like a monumental studio for LA. So that's a really great opportunity. So again, that's in California. And let me see if I can shoot some more details about this particular job. All right. Um, Actually, these details are pretty much limited. Let me see here. Okay. Well, let me check this out. Well, guys, we're gonna move on to the next grind up. All right. Again, that last one was run at the record plant. Okay, here we go. Next grind up is it's another recording grind up. Okay, this is audio engineer, full-time position at the Jazz Club in NYC. Hours are 6 p.m. to 2 a.m., 5 days a week. Audio for live shows, and this is in New York, New York. All right. Okay. So again, those are the details of that. Now, for those of you who are in the field of audio engineering and recording, this is in an open environment. So this is at a venue. So definitely, I mean, these kind of ops, like I said, you want to have experience in because you're doing, you're working in the field of live entertainment. And the best thing you could possibly do in this type of environment is make sure you're ready, and a live engineer you really get your experience from messing up, right? So whether you got a band, you didn't mic properly, or there's feedback, the monitors ain't sounding right, those are just some of the kinks you want to work through and get experience in, because in these events you're going to deal with a whole bunch of different personalities. You're going to deal with artists that are divas. They want this, they want that. They have a interesting way of addressing you. And as a live audio engineer, you just got to know how to diffuse those things. All right, you got to know how to just roll with it. And most of all, you got to know what you're doing. All right, know your gear. In this kind of thing, the most important thing you can do is know your equipment, know your gear, know its functionality, and ultimately get the sound to be the way the artist wants the audience to hear their musical experience. All right, so that's crucial. So we're gonna move on to grind up number 3. This grind up is in the field of film. All right, grip. Now this is a full-time position for 6-month project. Entry level with basic grip experience is required. This is in San Diego, California. Now I have a couple of friends who are definitely heavy into film and acquiring about film opportunities. So for those of you that are tuning in that are into film, I'm going to read you a couple of more details for this particular grind up. All right, this is a production company. They're looking for a full-time grip to work on a 6-month-long project in San Diego, California. Perfect entry-level position for anyone with some basic form of grip experience. Most of our Film Connection graduates will have this coming through the program. Okay, so like I said, with a lot of these grind ops, experience is everything. And even if you have a little bit of experience, this can be a great opportunity for you to grow in. But you kind of want to know the fundamentals of what grip, what that entails and what it requires. But like I said, it's another great opportunity, and you want to make sure that this is something you could commit to, because it's a 6-month-long production. All right, and that's a decent amount of time of work, and in those kind of situations, you want to make sure that you do such an amazing job that for the next project that comes up, you happen to be the first person they think of. All right, cool. Hope you got all the info and details on that one. We're gonna move over to grind up number 4. All right, grind up number 4. Actually, my bad. This can be grind up number 5. All right. I'm sorry. No, this is grind up number 4. My bad. And this is in the field of radio. Board operator, producer, morning show board operator, producer, must be able to work mornings 7 days a week. All right. Well, that's a pretty good gig right there. Let me see if let me give you a little bit more information on that. Part-time board operator and producer needed for a morning radio show on a major network station. Must also be local to the Philly area. Must be confident in not only running the boards, but also to have a creative input into the show's direction. Well, that's kind of Those are two different roles right there, board operator and being creative. I would say being a board operator is obviously more technical. And what I've realized in working with people who are really technical, they're not always great creators or don't have the ability to really have a creative mind. So for anybody looking to partake in this particular grind up, you want to have both sides. You want to be able to be technical from the aspect of knowing the board, knowing various things that are required in doing a morning show. And then you also want to be able to be creative, all right? Because you want to be able to offer creative input that's valid input to whatever show, whatever the direction of the show it is that you're doing. Um, like I said, again, this is, input for the show's direction. Um, and this is, this is a job op that I could look at and say you definitely want to have some experience because this could be actually a good long lasting gig. They really don't bring in guys like this for just short amount of time. And again, this is located in Philly. I love Philly. Philly's a rough city, but I love it because it's a town of music. Philly Internationals, Gamble and Huff. A lot of great music came out of Philly. Uh, I love Philly. Philly to me is like one of those spots that I would say is like Detroit, maybe some parts in Cali. It's just rough, but it's really gritty, grimy, and honest. All right. So make sure you got those notes down, and keep in mind now, if you got to stay through this duration of the show because later on in the show you'll see a link that allows you to actually apply for these jobs. And I tell folks all the time on the show, make sure you stay with me because the only way to apply is through the link that you'll see at the bottom right side of your screen. All right. So moving on to our last grind up. Let's see. This is again, recording. This is audio engineer, studio tech. Recording studio seeks engineer with experience with logic and programming beats. And this is in Brooklyn, New York. What up, Brooklyn? Love Brooklyn. Let me see if I can give you a little bit more notes for this particular gig. Candidate will also be troubleshooting audio equipment and providing support for sessions. Must possess experience of signal processing, compression, and limiting. Now that's something actually really crucial right there. Those are actually good details of what this grind up will entail because a lot of cats get into these gigs and they haven't had quite enough experience to be able to actually tell whether or not they're over processing, over compressing, or over limiting. And those three different categories can definitely ruin whatever it is you're working on if you don't know really how much and how much not to do. And again, you'll be troubleshooting audio equipment. So you'll be doing a little bit of tech work. So you definitely want to make sure you got some tech skills to be able to troubleshoot this gear to figure out, whatever problems you may be encountering, and providing support for sessions. So like I said, in this particular environment, the one thing you don't want to do that can become a definitely like nail in your shoe is gear that goes down that you can't get up right away and get back to work. Downtime in the studio is killer, especially if it has to do with technical difficulties and things that are going wrong. So like I said, some of these grind ops I presented today require both sides of know-how, all right, whether it's being techie and then being creative. For this particular grind op, it's being techie, but also knowing sound and knowing how to not over process or over limit. And like I said, a lot of these grind ops you'll find, and I'll continue to mention this is that you definitely want to have a form of experience. Not saying you got to be established or have a super long resume, but you definitely want to have some of these particular job kind of descriptions under your belt already. All right, because like I say in every show, you do not want to underperform. You want to overperform, and being able to overperform really comes down to your experience. Another thing, guys, make sure that your resumes are intact. Make sure that you're not overselling yourself. Make sure that everything on your resume is clearly what you have really done. No bells and whistles, no smoke and mirrors. Like I say, a lot of these gigs you want to be able to get in there and execute. All right. So make sure you hit that bottom link on the right side of your screen so you can apply for these jobs. All right. These jobs are only made available through the recording connection and here on our show, which is Connected. All right. So now for my favorite part of the show is the Q&A, because it's where I get to chat with you guys, see what's on your mind. You guys get to pull information out of me. I kind of get to learn a little bit about you as well. So I'm going to take on a couple questions. But first, I want to shout out Jason, who's attending the recording connection. All right. What's up, Jay? Hope you're tuning in, man. So we're going to move on to the first question. This is from Young Universe. All right. This is important because he says he doesn't see the links. Okay. So let's make sure we got the links down there for him, team. All right. Young Universe, I hope you'll see it soon. Should be there now. Cats, this is next message from question from Cats. Have you ever had a moment where the artist you was working with didn't like or wasn't feeling what you were producing for them? Absolutely. That happens all the time. And as a creator, you can't get discouraged because, it's just it's the nature of the business. You just create. And what I like to do when I'm working with an artist, I like to kind of get a heads up as to when they're coming in. And I approach it from a fan kind of aspect where I like to create music for that particular artist as if I was their fan and what I would like to hear them doing. And sometimes it syncs up. Sometimes by the time they get to the studio and you play what you created from a fan aspect, sometimes it aligns, and then sometimes the artist is like, yeah, that's perfect. That's exactly what I want to do. And then sometimes it's like, the artist will be like, no, I actually want to try something a little different. I want to try to, I want to grow. I want to evolve into this, and I'm liking this particular sound right now, and I want to try. And that's how it happens. But you just, as creators, we just create, man. We just create, and artists might be moved by something you created for them. Some artists might be moved by something you got that you didn't even really create for them. You created for another artist, but it affected them and it hit them a certain way. So just keep creating, Cats. All right. Next question is from Caleb. What was the defining moment for you in your career in the audio music industry? Defining moment for me is when, as a creator, when I got to the place where I could literally hear a song in my mind, and I could hear what it needed to feel like, what it needed to sound like, and within minutes I was able to create it. That was a really defining moment because you go through phases as a creator in music. You go through the phase of where the creativity might not be pouring in like it was, and you need new inspiration. You got to go live a little. You got to do something, and then you have those moments where it's just coming and it's nonstop. You're just creating. You're writing songs. You're making music. For me, that moment for me is when I can literally hear an idea in my head and in minutes bring it to life through my crate digging, through my turntable, through my MPC, and just create it. That was a defining moment for me. The next question is from Todd. What's the best way to get placements with major artists? In that aspect, to me, that motto is gone now. Placements isn't what it once was. Everybody's on let me get a record place. That day is over because everybody's creating music. Everybody has access to music. The best way to do it is just create, build your catalog up, build your library up, and let it go. Get it to people. Let people hear it. That's the best way to get placements. The days of, hitting up a publishing company, get a who's looking list, and get in the studio, man, that's old news. And it's not as lucrative as it once was. It's not, everybody has access to the same thing. So just keep curating and let it go. Get it in people's hands. Let people hear it. All right. Next question. Can you give some examples of follow-up etiquette? Follow-up etiquette, man. Let's say you're going to a grind op and you meet some folks. It's really about, man, just following up people, your personality, checking in. Hey, don't just do the interview and then let it go. Follow up, stay on top of these folks. Because that's everything. People also want to experience how hungry you are, how eager you are. And you know, I think I had a question last week was, can you be overbearing? And yeah, you can be, but you know what? I know for me as, a person in position uh, to give opportunity or bring people on board, the first thing I look at is their appetite for how bad they want to do it. And I only can see that through how they follow up and how much they hit me up. And just following up with you is want to know, if there's this or how did I do, or, is there anything I can help with? Let me know I'm available. That's, to me, that's great etiquette to have on the day to day when you're trying to, reach for your goals, reach for your career goals. Etiquette is everything. Presentation falls under etiquette. Everything. How you talk to people, how you network. It's all etiquette that allows you to really take advantage of the grind outs that we provide you here. All right. Next question. Let me see if I can grab a good one for you guys. Desiree, too true. I have a friend who produced a R. Kelly track just from his manager playing it for him. Okay, see, there you go. She just reconfirmed what I pretty much said, man. Just keep creating, keep creating. Um, so I know you guys see that link, recordingconnection.com grind ops. Make sure you click on that so you can partake fully in what we are presenting here. Let me see. Let me scroll down. Thanks, sir. Anything in Jersey? I believe this from David King. We had something in Jersey. I don't know if it was last week's show or the show before, but yeah, it's another thing. I'm actually glad you brought that up because, people that are here in Cali, because we're based in Cali, people say, well, is there any, you got anything in Texas or New York or New Jersey? Absolutely. Every show is different. So we got grind ops that range from New York to Cali to Atlanta, like I said, to Texas. We just had that last week. What's another spot? Chicago, of Nashville. So we got a variety of grind ops that are pertaining to different cities. So it's just stay tuning in every Monday. That's the best way to catch it. Let me see. Trying to find a good question for you guys here. Bear with me, bear with me, bear with me. Let's keep moving. Vegas. Karan's from Karan. Vegas. I don't know if we've had Vegas. I think we had Vegas maybe early on in. So just stay tuning in. All right. Young Universe. With all the tech stuff going on here in San Francisco, are there ops to produce music for apps? Actually, there is. But it's just a matter of meeting folks that are in the apps world who are looking for music. And like I said, the best way to saturate these opportunities is to just create and get your music into hands. The days of, well, I'm not sure, if they're going to take my music or, honestly, you can't be afraid anymore. You got to let it go. You got to create it and let it go and get it in there, get it out to the universe so people can experience it and, and create opportunity. All right. So guys, with that being said, that is all the questions that I'm taking on today. Again, make sure you track our day-to-day movement on social media, and that is connected. All right, that's Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. I'll be posting heavily this upcoming week on my day-to-day and everything I got going on because it's getting serious. All right, what we're doing here is for real, and we actually, in a couple weeks, we'll have some follow-up guests that have actually applied for these grind ops and have had some success. All right, because I think that's crucial for you guys and my viewers is to see in real time what we're really doing. All right, and these are for real grind op opportunities for you guys. All right. Again, thank you all for tuning in. I couldn't do this without my family, the Recording Connection. I'm moving up on the road, as you can see. Again, I got my connected banner. And shout out to my fellas, Mike and Howie, for helping make this possible. What up, Brian? And I look forward to catching you all next week. All right. Peace.